a special edition because in most countries of the world today, it's Labor Day. And so we wanted to make a special focus on a recent project that we've done, which is presenting the work of amazing designers from around the world who are reviving the act of labor and announcing a return to responsible local production. So to start off the first hour of the conference, Lee and I are going to be talking about the project, A Labor of Love, which is something that we curated for Lille 2020 last autumn, and of course has also been turned into a book. But before we do that, I just want to welcome Lee, who's going to say a few words about the World Hope Forum for anyone who is new to the forum.
Hi, everybody. Very happy to be together. Not as big an amount as normal, but I guess it's a quite different conference as well. I hope that all of you here are very interested in our subject matter. This is part of the World Hope Forum, however, because we are inventing our way from day to day. We are organizing things when we think we need to, and we are growing our group of ambassadors around the world. With Philip, we founded this movement last year in lockdown in South Africa, and it's been rocking ever since. We started in November with the first conference in the Netherlands. That was the birth, if you want, of the movement. Then went to France, then went to the United States, terrific day, then to Brazil, another amazing experience. And so we know already by now that to take us through content related to a country is highly interesting. We did Japan just a few weeks ago, and it was like, that was the destination we are missing so much. So we could really be in Japan for half a day, and it was food for my soul, if you want. So the goal we have here is to be together as creative people and to hold hands and to help each other and to learn from each other and to look at great examples, to teach by example if you want, and to learn every time again and again and more how there is new ways of thinking, new solutions, new paths you want to find for yourself in your life. Some people who radically change their position can be inspiring you to do the same. Some companies who are already far on the way to sustainability can challenge you to do the same. So the whole idea is that while we grow over the years, we do one conference a month, that we will get together more, exchange also between countries, and possibly once a year we will do a big conference mixing all these things, mixing the different elements of different countries. It's becoming already now a very strong movement. Also, what we want to obtain is that the creative elites should have a place at the table of the decision making. It's creative people who make the money, who design the money, if you want, and then it's taken away from them by marketing and management. And often it is mismanaged and not at all what the designers would like to see. So we think it's very important that we gain more power in this world in the next decades. So it's a multiple movement, activism, if you want. But the most important thing is to give you hope. And every day we have done so far, when you wind down afterwards with a glass of wine, you say, I can feel that I can still live. There is hope. And that is the main focus.
Thank you, Lee. So should we go straight into the first presentation? Are you ready to go?
True. Yeah.
Yes, it's an hour long of inspiration.
Yes. It's in fact, the first thoughts about Labor of Love was about fashion a few years ago. I felt there was a comeback and interest in labor clothes. and I found old pictures in a vintage store in New York, and it was so inspiring that I decided to do a whole trend book on workwear, from basic workwear to monks, to nurses, to maids, to all sorts of trades and professions. And it is one of my favorite books of all time. And as you can understand today, even after years, this is only growing, 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 growing. Now all brands have their workwear basics and so on. So often this happens in our work, is that we start somewhere and then it's just taking us, on a roller coaster ride. And this is why when we were asked by Caroline Napegui from Lille to make an exhibit, actually we first had another idea, but then we got a new location, which was an old train station, to send wares around the world. And so it was such a rough and ready, big space that with Philip we decided we need to work on all these new design methods, all this new design hope for new production processes. And we can have machines in there, and we can have films in there. So this is what we decided, and we took the title Labor of Love. Today is Labor Day in 2021. It's very possible that in 2051 we will not have a Labor Day anymore, because we will all have lost our work. Much work will be taken over by robots and by artificial intelligence, and this is already happening now. We already lost a couple of clients in Japan because they fired all the designers and they now make the clothes by artificial intelligence. For you to know, this is happening now. So we are definitely interested in how to create new work, because as we go on, the industrial work will disappear, and so we will need to have work which is much more arts and craft driven, which is much more cottage industry minded, and which will give a purpose to our life after, let's say, the normal work is gone. So this is in anticipation of a future as well. We saw in the beginning of the century, after 9/11 especially, that many designers wanted to go to the hand to forge new realities and to make very avant-garde and innovative work, very much away from industrial design. And while this movement has been growing and growing over the world, I think it was born in Eindhoven Academy, but it started to sort of become a language. At one point, we witnessed that many of these designers also needed to have a bit of a machine or a computer or a loom or anything which is mechanical or electronic. And so I saw the new designers as Edward Scissorhands, where they have these extra long fingers, which helps him to cut everything more fast. And this is really what happens, is that these designers, what is so cute and new about it in today's day and age is that